Okay guys, just bear with us a couple of minutes whilst we sort out Group B. There'll be a second qualifying session underway shortly. Just bear with us a couple of minutes and we'll be right back with you. Okay guys, the wait is over. We'll be putting the lineup on the board shortly. Just needed to resolve some numbers, because congratulations everyone. We beat the record from last time. Monaco was very busy and now Silverstone has beaten that record. So the Quali B lineup will be shown shortly, and then we will head to the track with 17 drivers in this qualifying session. Around the very fast circuit of Silverstone. There we go. Okay, so if your name is on the screen, make your way down to the floor. Okay, so we've got 10 minutes left of the second qualifying session. Leo Faddy goes up to the top with a 26.6 and Nick not far behind, 1.3 seconds in the Aston Martin. Lucas up there again with a 2.5 second deficit to the leader. Luca and Lorenzo, the brothers, side by side on track, then Hamza, then Abdul, Alex, Ivan, Robin and Andres. We see a Red Bull spin, that's Abdul Hadi in the S's. This track is another one that will bite if you use the grass or the curbs. We are back live on YouTube for those that are wondering. Last time round the live stream was not on in Austria, but we are back for Silverstone, the British VRS. After a quick rebrand, the virtual racing series gets underway and the live stream is back on track. And who is going to take the top step today? worry guys, for those that are wondering at home on the live stream or in the audience, the driver is also aware that the 25.0 is not valid. So at the moment I think Leo Faddy is still on pole position. Okay, 30 seconds left of qualifying. And then just before everybody has a quick couple-minute break, I just want to speak to all the drivers after this session. So even the ones that are in Group L, I'll ask everybody to come to the podium after this qualifying session. I just want to speak to everybody before the race. Okay guys, if you could all make your way to the podium. I just want a quick chat with everyone before you disappear for a couple minutes. Okay, race B, if you can start making your way to the Sims. Andre on pole position in race B, Michael and Ivan second and third, Hussein, Robin, Alex, Andy, Ahmed, Avneet, Nicolay, Oliver, Jamie, Damon, Steve, Sahil and Aditya round off your field in the second, or the first race up today, but in the B field. If your name is not on the screen, congratulations, you are in the A final, but first up, we'll be watching race B. Okay, here we go then. Race B is on the grid. Practice is over. And we are ready. Just waiting for the lights to go out. Andre on pole, Michael in second, Ivan in third, Hussein in fourth. Who can keep their head cool in the B final and keep it on track? Turn 1 is flat out. The first heavy braking zone is turn 3. As they get away then down towards turn 1, it's a Ferrari and Red Bull side by side into the flat out right, into the flat out left, and here comes the first braking zone then. Hussein here on the move in the Aston Martin in 6th place. They're hard on the brakes, and I actually think most people, the Red Bull's round. I think that's, I didn't see who that was actually as they dropped down the order, but Ahmed survived in the Alpine, and he gets to carry on in 6th place, I believe he is at the moment. As they cross the line, the order on the left will be fixed, but Jamie side by side on the brakes into Luffield then. The Alpine trying to catch up to the Mercedes and the McLaren just ahead as they go into the right-hander. Here's the Ferrari of Andre P leading the way with Michael in 2nd place, just behind him in the Red Bull. Here's Michael then on board, currently in 2nd, trying to chase down Andre P, who's leading. He's got a bit of a run as he goes down towards the S's. Not a good spot to overtake really, as it is quite a fast section, not really on the brakes, but this could be an opportunity. Look at the McLaren closing in. I don't know if there was contact there, but the McLaren of Ivan goes through then past Michael in the Red Bull down towards turn 1. The cars, I'll say it again, the cars and the names on the left will be fixed as they come across the line. As we see Michael now back up into 2nd. I think the McLaren, late on the brakes into the final chicane. Is he going to go on? He's gone straight on. The McLaren is round and he's down the order then as they now come across the line. This will fix the leaderboard on the left so we can finally see the order, and there we go. It is Andre leading the way. Michael now back in 2nd. Ahmed in the Alpine is up into 3rd after seeing Ivan on the McLaren straight on at the final turn. Here's Aditya versus Avneet in the Red Bulls down in P12 and 13 round the final turn. Michael comes round then, and he's actually staying within DRS range here of Andre just in front. It's only half a second gap, it's all to play for, but the Alpine is not that far behind either. There he is. There's Ahmed in the Alpine coming through Luffield, but it does look like Michael has the pace at the moment, but is he going to dip away on the gravel? He's round! Michael too early on the throttle, and now he's going to have to try and get back on the track without making contact with anyone. He's going down the order, and he was fighting for the lead, but if it's any of the previous rounds or anything to go on, as we see Jamie holding around the outside of a very, very fast corner, tries to hold on, but it's not over yet. There are 10 laps remaining, and Michael has the pace to catch up. Oh, one of the Mercedes slides through the S's, can't hold on to it, and then 2 people go through. Ivan back up into 5th place, moves to the inside of Jamie here, down towards Cops Corner. Sorry, Vale and Stowe. Down into the Vale chicane then, into the heavy braking zone. Ivan back up into 4th place, trying to chase down Hussein in the Aston Martin. Ahmed in the Alpine now holds on to 2nd place, with Andre leading the way. Ahmed sets the fastest lap, and it's taken away by Hussein in 3rd. Ivan trying to close his way down, and here's Michael back in 8th place now, trying to find his way back up through the field. Avneet holding on at the back. He's about to go down the outside of Aditya, down towards Stowe again, into the fast right-hander. Look at that, using all of the track. Dips a wheel on the curb, gets around nicely. Ivan now round the outside of the Aston Martin, or is it down the inside even into Luffield? Gets it down, but look at the Aston come back. Oh, shuts the door, elbows out for Hussein there, as Ivan tried to get the move done. Squirrely tail end for the Aston Martin as he plants the throttle on the exit of Luffield, down through Cops, flat out through the right-hander, the famous corner where Hamilton and Verstappen collided. There was no overtake there. Look at this camera angle of Maggots and Beckett's. The McLaren all over the back of the Aston Martin as they come through this right-hander. And look at the Aston sliding its way through as the McLaren tries to close in on P3 in a podium spot in the B final. The McLaren has DRS, the rear wing is open, chases down the Aston into Stowe, fast right-hander. Final chicane coming up. Is Ivan going to try and lunge one down the inside? He tried this before, he spun the last time, and the Aston's got off by himself. The McLaren tries to get a switch back. He's going to have to go around the outside as the Aston parks it on the inside. Oh, and Ivan goes off the circuit to try and gain the position, and now the Aston is on the inside of turn one, and the McLaren turns in. That was always going to happen. He turned in like the Aston was not there, and they've both spun round. But where's Jamie? Jamie's up into third in the Mercedes, and now Andy is up into fourth into Mercedes 3-4. Alex has gone through in the Williams, which spins in front, and there's a Mercedes round as well, and Ivan gets collected. And there's chaos here on lap 4 at Silverstone as now Ivan tries to face the right way. And Jamie inherits a podium. Oh, where is Michael in all of this? He's back up into P4. Hussein now in 6th place. He was fighting for 3rd place. And look at the Williams. Alex down the inside into Luffield. But Hussein holds it around the outside. There's contact. Gets forced off a little bit, the Aston, as they now go into the tight right-hander. Alex tries to hold on to P6. And look at those clouds up in the sky. That's more like British weather. Is it going to rain? I doubt it. We don't have the rain function on Assetto Corsa, but if we did, it would certainly spice things up a little bit. But there we go, fastest lap for P5. That is Robin in the Red Bull, trying to close in to Michael in P4. But look at Hussein then. Oh, he went to look down the inside of that corner. That's not on. That move is definitely not a regular one that's seen, unless it is raining, actually. Thinking of back to Rosberg's overtake through that turn. Hussein now loses 1 second by attempting that overtake on Alex in the Williams. He needs to be careful because behind is Michael closing him in, and Ivan is actually going to start fighting Michael in the Red Bull as well. And the Aston goes off again as we come round to see, oh, there's a replay, so that's why the Mercedes spun round. The Williams of Alex K straight into the back of the Mercedes, and the Aston weaves its way through, so Alex K can expect a penalty for that. And we're only approaching the halfway phases. Ivan is round again, the McLaren of Ivan P. A great camera angle. The cameras are working well here at Silverstone. As Ivan, oh, he's spun again, his tyres are hot. He can't get the power down. He's now down in 9th, I think, as he tries to get facing the right way. Here's Nikolai, he's having issues. Going backwards on the grass. The final ever putting on the show before the A final begins. As he comes back onto the circuit, the Red Bull gets through nicely. Aditya up into 13th place then. Haven't seen Oliver B that much in the RB. He's kind of by himself in 12th place, but Andre P leading the way is catching up to some of the back markers off the gravel. There you go, so Andre makes it through, and this is where it starts to get interesting. It can definitely spice things up a bit. Ahmed up in P2 in the Alpine. Jamie holds on to P3 at the moment in the Mercedes. Nikolai in 14th, closing down. Oh, is he gonna spin? No, he makes it, keeps it in the inside. He's aware that the Red Bull in front of Aditya nearly spun round and came through. Are these guys going to catch up to Oliver? Maybe, maybe not. So the current order then, oh, we've got another replay coming up. Look at that, oh, down the inside. So that's what happened to Ivan. It was a little bit, it was a day late and a dollar short for the McLaren there, but actually they stay in the same order. And I think the Mercedes comes through as well. Okay, oh, look at this. This is for P3. Jamie has lost the position. Robin goes through into P3 then on the inside of Luffield, and Alex is closing in on Jamie as well. He's only 6 tenths behind in the Williams. So Jamie is going to come under pressure, but don't forget, Alex Kay has a 5-second penalty for the earlier contact on the Mercedes driver. So even if he can get through, he has to pull away 5 seconds from the Mercedes in front. So Alex trying to catch down. He's going to have DRS open here, down the back straight, into the fast right-hander. Comes down into the braking zone. It's a quick tap of the brakes, let the downforce carry the car through, and it creates an opportunity into the chicane. Is he going to have a late lunge on the brakes? Oh, he does brake later than the Mercedes, but gets it stopped. No contact this time. Tries to go on the inside line of the final turn. That won't work. It's going to run a little bit wide. Oh, the Mercedes, the McLaren is off, letting people through, I believe. That might be Steve down in 16th place. They come through the flat out turn 1 and 2 into the braking of 3. Massive understeer for the Williams into the left-hander. Oh, there's a Red Bull facing the wrong way. Little jump scare there as Alex goes off in avoidance. And Ahmed is actually down into 4th place now. The Alpine driver down into 4th. So what's happened to the Alpine? He was in 2nd by a decent margin as he now tries to chase down Jamie for a podium spot. He can easily take the inside line here. Is he going to get the exit? They're side by side on the exit, but the Mercedes has the run. And now he's going to get in the slipstream down towards Copse Corner. Is he going to go for it? He's going down the inside. This is brave or stupid, but he didn't pull it off. He's gone off the circuit and 2 cars go through. Jamie and Alex up into 3rd and 4th, and the Alpine has 5 laps to try and get back to the podium. Robin, 2nd place, 20 seconds behind your leader, Andre in the Ferrari. But we are watching the final step fight. 3rd place, Alex versus Jamie versus Ahmed. And here goes Alex down the inside in the Williams in towards Stowe. Gets it done, but he needs to pull away 5 seconds to hold on to this position. Jamie just behind, will get DRS. Oh, look at the Alpine. The Alpine of Ahmed is now pushing really hard on the brakes. Oh, Jamie's round on the grass into the wall. The Alpine avoids. Ahmed up into 4th place, and he just needs to stay within 5 seconds of Alex in the Williams. Here we got a replay. Who is this? That is a Red Bull versus the Alpine, and this is probably what cost Ahmed 2nd place. So I think he was waiting a little bit for whatever that back marker was doing, but I don't know if that was his fault in my opinion. So Ahmed falling prey to the back markers. Okay, so lap 8 of 12. Ivan is in P8, Michael is in P6, Hussein is in P7. They were the front runners earlier in this race, and they had, oh look at that, Ivan is so late on the brakes on every corner. Just needs to be prepared. Alex is still holding on to 3rd, but he's going for a move for 2nd. Robin S is under pressure for 2nd place. Alex has been putting on a show here as he tries to close in on Robin, who has pulled a gap to the 2 cars behind, so another issue for Ahmed has seen him drop down the order. And now, look at this. Robin, under pressure into the final chicane. Late on the brakes and off the circuit goes Alex there, as he broke as late as he dares. And he couldn't quite pull it off this time. Loses 2 seconds on the exit as we see Ivan chasing down Hussein in the Aston. Down into Stowe. No move done just yet, but is he going to send it down the inside? We've seen Ivan late on the brakes in the McLaren. Is he going to pull it off? He's going to brake later than the Aston. Are they going to make contact? No! Look at that, wheel-to-wheel stuff. The Aston holds the inside line. It's going to be tight through here. Oh, they're going to make contact again. They're still side by side. Ivan's turned in before like there was no car, but what's going to happen this time? Oh, look at that, round the outside of turn 1. Full speed, fully committed. Moves up into P7. Hussein braking, I think, a little bit on the apex. Michael now in P6, chasing down Ahmed in the Alpine. Should see the rear wing open. He looks close enough to DRS as he chases down in towards Luffield. Down into the left-hander, cuts the curb nicely. The Alpine runs a little bit wide. This is nice and smooth here into left field, which is very key to gain the pace through this corner. Down towards Stowe now, and he's still within a second, but actually Ahmed gets a better exit. Alex within 1 second of Robin up in P3. Hussein here in P7 is back ahead of Ivan. Somehow, Ivan maybe made another mistake, which drops him to P8 on the biggest grid that we've seen so far in the VRS. Now, Michael, DRS open, down towards Stowe. Ahmed up ahead in the Alpine. There's the rear wing as proof. He's definitely close enough this time. Is he going to get a move done into the 4? He's going to go around the outside. That's a hell of a move. He keeps it on the circuit as well. Great camera work there from the team in the box. But the Alpine is late on the brakes and in the gravel. And he tried to take it back, and that secures P5 for Michael. A great move around the outside. Kept it on the circuit. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Actually, probably some of the best racing we've seen in the B final ever. And now we see Alex down the inside into the left-hander, and the Red Bull's going to try and get a switch back as Alex goes off, and he gets it back. Robin holding on to second place into Lovefield. I think he's going to get a better exit as Alex loses the rear end, just planted the throttle, lost the traction, and now he has to do all the hard work all over again. Michael is closing in on Jamie here by nearly a second in that section. He's only 1.2 seconds behind, but Ahmed is only half a second behind, so that fight is going to continue to P4, 5 and 6. But Alex struggling to get past Robin here as he now tries to chase down second place. Andre P looks perfectly in control to take victory here in the B final. It's lap 10 of 12. Don't want to jinx it. I'll tell you what, I just saw the RB in the background there. That's Oliver B. We haven't seen him all race, but he's definitely on circuit in 11th place. Avneet up into the top 10. Andy T in P8. We've got a replay coming up. That's the Aston going for a rough and tumble again. They both went off at the same time and just came out in the opposite order. That was Ivan and Hussein. But Alex still trying to close down. Michael within a second of Jamie as well. This fight continues. Alex 8 on the brakes, goes off the circuit. Robin will definitely be looking in the mirrors after seeing this kamikaze braking of the Williams. Down towards turn 3. Michael's going to try and make another move. He's going to have a DRS zone. Oh, Alex is up into second place into left field. He got the DRS. Goes into the right hand, and now is he going to hold the inside or open up the outside again? No, not this time. Holds onto it, but now keep an eye on Robin. He's going to have toe all the way down to Cops. He actually only needs to sit there and stay within 5 seconds, but he's going to try and get this on track maybe. He's got 2 laps to just hold on. There's a back marker up the road. Michael is also fighting for position behind, and we've got the Red Bull here going through the S's. It's very, very close amongst a few drivers here. Ahmed in the Alpine also within a second of this fight. Let's watch Michael through here, flat out through this turn. 6/10. Look at these two side by side again. DRS for Robin. Retakes P2. A back marker in front. One of the Red Bulls. Is it Sahil? Is it? It's not Michael. And now watch Alex go down the inside of the chicane. They're going to make contact. There is contact there. And they holds the inside line. Does the Red Bull. And the Williams tries to hold on. Needs to be careful not to get more penalties. Or is Robin potentially going to get one for any of this? But look at this, it's going to be close. Round the outside of turn 1, understeers wide, tries to get into position. Should have waited for turn 3 in this situation for sure. And he's going to get DRS down the next straight. And now, this is a replay of the Williams getting the move back done. Down the inside, very easily done with DRS. Great stuff from the directors backstage. And now Ivan holds on to the fastest lap in P5 as Alex goes wide yet again, trying to hold on. 7/10 back, still within DRS for now as the Mercedes, not the Mercedes, the Red Bull spins up the wheels, slides a little bit, and it looks like Jamie's gone down the order. Ivan's up into P4. So what's happened to Jamie? Hussein, Ahmed's down in P7 as well, so he's had an issue. And Ivan now 20 seconds back, so Michael has dropped to P8. Oh, I think that's Michael up the road maybe in the gravel. And this is a replay of the contact with the Williams and the Red Bull. Racing hard, but I think as it stayed, there will be no penalty for that one. that one can stay clear and just say Rubbing's racing as they continued in the same order and neither of them spun. But here's Andre then across the line and wins the B final by 13 seconds. Robin S is going to come through the final chicane and there's a Ferrari appeared out of nowhere. Here comes Robin through the final turn. And across the line, Alex Kay finishes in third, 20 seconds ahead of Ivan, so he will hold on to that position. As we wait for Ivan to cross the line in P4. What a great race for the B final. That's going to put some pressure on the A final drivers to be just as good, just as clean. We saw a few spins, maybe we could do a few less. I'll give them a round of applause as they get out of the sims. What a great race. The A lineup will be shown shortly. Get ready to go to your sims. If the racers for the A final can start making their way down now. Okay, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, at home on YouTube or in the venue, those from the B final, we are ready. Everybody is on the grid. The A final is about to get underway. Another 12 laps of chaos or strong racing. We're about to find out as we wait for the screen to come on at the start of this race. Okay, here we go then. Leonard Faddy on pole position, championship leader. Nick looking for a comeback after last time in Austria. Mechanical failure. Karim Zahor in third place. Abdul Hadi up into fourth with Essa in P5 and Luca Lorenzo, the brothers, in P6 and 7. Lucas, Ariav and Hamza round off your top 10 with Alina, Andre, Emil, Fletcher, Brian and Abey rounding off your A final grid. 16 cars. Your top 16 about to begin. I can hear the revs start rising as the lights go out and away they go. It's a great start for P5 Ferrari, who then bogs down on the second phase. And I think it looks like Nick gets a good start as well as he goes out of the slipstream of Leonard Faddy. Essa was the one with the good start up into P4 as they go onto the brakes. He goes round the outside of a Red Bull. Will be on the inside of the next corner, but there's contact. And Essa's round. He's facing the wrong way after getting a flying start and then collects two more drivers. It'll probably be a poor rejoin penalty of 5 seconds, but he does have plenty of time to try and get back up. Who was the Ferrari that spun him round? That is the question. Was it Andre Fisch? Is Andre Fisch in line to get a penalty? Only time will tell as Nick tries to chase down Leo Faddy in P1. Okay, so the battle continues then. Luca up into P4 now in the Red Bull, with Abdul Hadi just behind, and they're chasing down Karim in the Ferrari just ahead, but that is the dangerous corner, those S's. If you dip a wheel on the grass, that's where we see people tend to spin and fly off to the right-hand side, as we see Lucas in the Williams go back up into P8. I tell you what, Abey had a flying start. He was in 16th. He was just up in 10th, but now he's going back down the order as he drops down into P12. Fletcher also in the McLaren flies up into P9 after starting near the back as well. P14 I think Fletcher started as Leonard Faddy sets the fastest lap, but Nick is still within DRS range as they come around that final turn. Here's Emil Nasser chasing down the Williams of Lucas down into turn 1, flat out through here into the left-hander. Who's going to be later on the brakes? The Ferrari of Emil. Is he going to send it down the inside? He does, and there's a little bit of contact, but it's fair. Robbins racing, but the Williams holds on to the inside line. Round the outside goes Emil, keeps it on the circuit. Does he give room? Yes, he does. And who's going to get DRS? I think it's the Ferrari. Emil, a great move up into P7 there, and the Williams of Lucas down into P8. Abdul Hadi within 4/10 of Andre Fisch up the road. Luca only 6/10 behind. Everyone is 2 by 2 as they're fighting. Here's a replay of lap 1. You can see there the Red Bull actually pushed the other Ferrari towards Essa Al-Hamadi. So it might be worth finding out who the Red Bull was as well for the stewards. But Nick, still within DRS, trying to hold on and put the pressure on your championship leader. He's going to close the gap a little bit here as they go down towards Stowe. Into the right-hander. Keeps it on the circuit, down towards the final chicane. Hard on the brakes, gets it in. Now, it looks like he carried a bit too much speed in, and that's where Leo's going to pull away a bit of pace here on the main straight. Watch the gap increase. Oh, Emil's back down into 8th, so it looks like Lucas got it back on as a Ferrari round again. It's Andre Fisch is down. That'll be from contact, I imagine. I don't think he would have spun by himself, so Andre Fisch down the order into P10. Fletcher holds on to P9. He's got Ayav just in front of him in the other McLaren as he chases down. Is Fletcher going to make a move here down towards turn 3? He's definitely close enough to. Late on the brakes, Fletcher down the inside, up past Ayav into P8. Emil Nasser very close. Oh, Ayav on the grass, Fletcher on the grass. They're both off the circuit, but it's very close up the road. Lucas, I think, has just been passed by Emil Nasser again. it's a DRS fight between the Ferrari and the Williams here in P6 and 7. Emil Nasser back up into P6, and Luca is still on the tail of Kareem, whilst Nick is still on the tail of Leonard Faddy and has the fastest lap at the moment. He's just set the fastest lap in the last time out. Lucas goes a little bit wide on Copse, slots in behind, carries on through Maggots and Beckett's. What a great circuit for racing Silverstone is turning out to be. First the B final and now the A final. Lucas in the DRS, he's going to get this done again. They're going to swap positions. Oh, he goes down the inside. A switchback, a dummy move for the Williams, but is Emil going to hold it around the outside? No, he backs out of it. Slots back behind, goes in towards the chicane as Leonard Faddy sets a rapid lap of 27.5 up in the lead. And now he's trying to extend out of that DRS range of Nick, but I think he's just closed down to 3/10. How did that happen? The lead fight. Look at Emil though, trying to get this back down towards turn 1. Gets it done. And Emil back up into P6, down towards turn 3. And now I don't know if Lucas let him have that to try and get DRS down that back straight. Here's Essa Al-Hamadi trying to climb his way back up to the field. He's catching back up to the train, and Nick is still within a second of Leo Faddy, so I wonder if Leo made a mistake, or is it just the Constantino effect? I think it is the Constantino effect. Here's Andre Fisch chasing down Fletcher in the McLaren. Weaves a little bit, he's late on the brakes, it's the McLaren, but Andre gets the move done. Beautiful move by the Ferrari down the inside, shuts the door on the exit through left field, and gets a good exit. And now Lucas looks down the inside of Copse. Not a great move, can be done as we've seen in the past, but often results in contact. Aryav here chasing down Hamza Zaid in P11 as Lorenzo just passes Alina, and Essa actually gets through both of them with a free Rose Hamilton moment up into P14. Passes 2 cars in 1 corner. Lucas goes back through and Emil, they're side by side here. Emil holds it around the outside. He's going to have the inside for the final chicane. Lucas later on the brakes, nearly touches the back of the Ferrari, but they continue and survive. Emil now holding on. But who in the top 5 is going to crack first and make a mistake on the grass to try and give these guys opportunity to move further up the order? Luca is still holding on to Kareem in the Red Bull and Ferrari up ahead. Fletcher is holding on to Andre Fisch. Lucas is holding on to Emil Nasser, and Nick is just about holding on to your championship leader. He's trying to put the pressure on Leo Faddy, but at the moment Leo proving hard to push into a mistake. We've seen him make mistakes before in this season, but rarely does he do it, as Fletcher now tries to get around the outside of Andre Fisch with DRS open. Late on the brakes, he's going to swoop in, he's got the inside for the next right. Is he going to hold on to it? The Ferrari around the outside, and Fletcher's done it. What a great move from the McLaren driver. Elbows out stuff from Fisch and the Ferrari, but they both survive. I think Fisch lifts off, lets him have the move for now, and they try and continue as they fight now for the DRS zone into this next section. Into the left, into the right. You can see the McLaren and the Ferrari there. Look at the speed through Maggots and Beckett's. Great camera angles there through this amazing set of corners as Faddy goes quicker yet again. And now look at Fisch with the DRS open. He's still in 7th gear. He changes up into 8th. He's going to look down the inside. But no, Fletcher turns in, spooks him out of that move, and he's going to have to try and close in again and pull it off another time. Luca looks like he's closing in on Kareem for P3, but then it extends again. And here's Lucas and Emil again. Lucas looks down the inside of turn 3. These two have been absolutely stuck together this whole race. Emil and Lucas really fighting it out here in the Williams and the Ferrari. 4/10 gap. Watch how it closes with the DRS open. Rear wing open down the back straight. Down towards left field corner. Closes down into the left. Oh, nearly loses the rear. Big snap of oversteer into the left. Turns it into the right-hander. And Emil carries on. Lives to fight another day with Lucas on his tail here. We've seen the racecraft between these two before. Can be fairly strong. And Lucas again fighting that rear, really trying to keep the traction on in the Williams. And now he's going to have DRS as he exits through this S section. He's handling the dirty air brilliantly with the Williams through the S's. His tyres are not overheating as we see the halo in the way of Emil down towards this next right-hander. In he goes. We didn't pull off the move there, but can he pull off a move in the chicane? I think he's too far back. Nick is now 3 seconds behind. Leo is absolutely locked in to try and pull away. And now Lucas trying to close in. Kareem is also 1.3 seconds back. Lucas has dropped back. So now the fight is starting to spread out. Andre Fisch still chasing down Fletcher. Lucas still chasing down Emil. We're on board with the fight. Look at this, it's close into turn 3. Some great sweeping shots here of the Williams into the left-hander. Can he get a good exit? Set up the DRS pass in towards left field again. Or can Emil defend and hold on? The gap closes, half a second, 4 tenths, 3 tenths, down into the brakes. Keeps it tidy, tries to stay close into the right-hander. Oh, he looks down the inside on Emil there. He tries to get a better exit. I think he can hold on. So Emil Nasser does hold on down towards the next corner. We've seen Lucas get the run here before, didn't pull it off. It's a dangerous corner to overtake. He needs to just sit behind and wait for an opportunity. Maybe in the S's, there is a definite overtake opportunity into the last S, but it's pretty dangerous. But it can be done. Not this time. Emil closed it off good and proper. Now they're on to the DRS straight, and the rear wing will open once again. 7 tenths the gap as they exited. 6 tenths as they get closer to the braking zone. It's fairly even pace from these two, but look at the Lucas carried so much more speed into the right-hander. He's doing a great job to not make contact with Emil. I don't want to put the curse on, but there's only 4 laps left, and he gets the switch back down the inside, and Lucas back up into P6. Passes Emil into the final chicane, and now Emil down towards turn 1. Will stay as close as he can to try and get the DRS down the turn 4 straight. Down into turn 3, can't get the move done here, carries the speed into the apex, opens up the left-hander, gets it turned in nicely, definitely straighter than the Williams, so he's going to get a better exit. Watch the DRS open here as they go down the back straight. Emil's got the speed once again and takes the position back up into P6. And now Lucas can't do anything to defend it, but he's going to try and overtake around the outside. Is he going to get a switch back? Not this time. Emil gets a good exit. And the Williams again squirrely as he plants the throttle down on the exit. Andre Fisch is close to Fletcher as well as he tries to set up an overtake. He's looking to get past around the outside of Steiner. He's on the grass, is Andre Fisch. Oh, that would have been an overtake if he managed to pull that off. Definitely a little bit scary for the Ferrari driver versus the McLaren. We've got Williams versus Ferrari, we've got McLaren versus Ferrari. These are your closest fights on the circuit, whilst everyone else is just pumping in lap times, and Lucas is trying to overtake Emil again around the outside of Stowe, down towards the final chicane. They're providing all the action and getting all the TV time today. Anyone watching, I know Emil's dad is watching on the live stream at home or at work at one of the 2 places. But there you can see Emil getting most of the screen time today as he tries to defend from Lucas here in towards turn 3. It's been a great fight so far. Lucas late on the brakes and Emil gives him room. It's great respect for racing, but can he go around the outside of this corner? Oh, great respect from these two. But who's going to have the DRS? I didn't see who's behind at the detection point. It's the Williams. He's got the run down towards left field, and Lucas back up into P6 then as they swoop into the left-hander, and Fletcher also repasses Andre Fisch, but they're both off the circuit by the looks of it, and now Emil needs to try and close back. So Fletcher back up ahead of Andre, and Lucas back up ahead of Emil, and Lucas just past Kareem. Kareem's had an issue. Has he spun? Kareem's a haul. Why is he now down in 4th place? He's just been passed by Luca, who's on for a podium here in the A final of the VRS. Andre Fisch's round as well. That'll be from potential contact with Fletcher. 2 laps remain and the mistakes start creeping in from these tight fights. Emil and Lucas though, not yet have they made a mistake, and they do continue this battle down into the final chicane. 2 laps remain. Luca, I'm so impressed to get up into P3 here. Kareem was robotic in his driving and now slots back into P4. And I want to find out what happened. Hopefully we get a replay, but here is Emil chasing Lucas back down in the Williams. And actually Hamza back up in the top 10 as well. Oh, who's this? That's Kareem. I think he's done it by himself. Through the S's, he dipped a wheel in the grass. And that's how Luca, I got confused with the brothers there, Luca got back up into P3. Kareem's got the pace to get it back. Emil is in DRS zone of Lucas still. Leonard Faddy in control, Nick in control. Essa back up into P12 after dropping last, and he is closing down on Andre Fisch. We've got a Ferrari versus Ferrari here. And Essa we've seen with great racecraft just sometimes getting caught up in mistakes that aren't entirely his fault. Like we saw at the start of this race, but he did rejoin poorly. If it wasn't for the rejoin, he wouldn't have a penalty, but he's got DRS open as he goes on the grass, tries to overtake Andre Fisch here around the outside. Can he get it done? Look at Essa Al Hamadi on the outside. Not this time. Didn't carry the speed through. 3 tenths between Emil and Lucas. Kareem 8 tenths to Luca. And I think Emil has got back past. Oh, he's round the outside of Stowe. He's done this once before. A great move again from the Ferrari driver in towards the chicane. And there's approaching the final lap as Lucas goes across the curb. That one will be a question mark, I'm sure, in terms of track limits. I think he might lift off and give it back. He does. That's a smart decision from the Williams driver, and now it doesn't need to be investigated. So Emil holds on. There's 2 laps remaining here as the Williams tries to get it turned into 3. Is he going to look down the inside of 4? These two have been absolutely wheel to wheel throughout this whole race. Round the outside goes Emil. They're both giving room. I'll tell you what, they deserve an award for cleanest drivers of the day, because it's been amazing that we haven't seen any issues with how close they've been fighting and how close they are on pace. Normally someone cracks, but look at Fletcher. Hamza has passed Fletcher in the McLaren as well as Essa and Andre. Oh, the McLaren's round. That's Fletcher. Drops down the order as all of them come through. Essa Al Hamadi's entered the top 10 as he passes Hamza as well. And now I think Andre is defending for P9 here as Essa goes to look round the outside. Andre squeezes him. Essa tries to carry on. He keeps his nose in, but he can't do it. Hamza's aid closes in. Kareem is within 3 tenths of Luca as well. And we're on the final lap. Can you believe it? Emil Nasser back up into 6th place. Abdul Hadi's been holding on to 5th this whole time. Leonard Faddy on the final lap of this race. Nick in 2nd, 5 seconds behind, but look at Kareem Zahor. He's only within 6 tenths of 3rd place. Luca, 600ths even, and Kareem goes back up into P3. Kareem and Luca fighting for P3, and I think Kareem's done it. He's back up into the podium position as we're still watching Essa and Andre fight on track, and here now we see Kareem and Luca fighting, and I think they are coming around that middle section. Andre Fisch now down in P10, so Essa did get through and Lucas is back through, but Emil tries to hold on. Lucas around the outside. Oh no, this is the fight we've all been watching for most of the race, and what can Emil do now? He's got one more DRS zone to try and get this back, and it's lap 12 of 12 as Leonard Faddy comes round the final chicane into the left-hander, into the right-hander, and with a 4-second lead, a dominant performance from the Ferrari driver. He got pole and he wins the Silverstone VRS here for round 12, and Luca now down in P5, and Abdul Hadi up into P4. Nick crosses the line in 2nd, Kareem 3rd, Abdul Hadi P4, but can Emil get past Lucas? This is what we're all wondering. The gap is closing down. What can Emil Nasser do? As we see Abdul cross the line, and we're very close into the final chicane, but I think Lucas is going to do it, and it's been a battle for 12 solid laps, and Lucas takes P6 with Emil Nasser in P7. A great battle for both of them, and you're right to give them a round of applause when they come out of the sims. A real tough fight from everyone, and Andre Fisch trying to get Essa Al Hamadi here down into Stowe, gives him a bit of a bump towards the final chicane. Levy braking zone, he's going to go down the inside. Essa goes a little bit deep, and I think Andre Fisch She's going to get a switch back. They're going to be side by side and the game cuts out with the timer. I don't know who was going to get that position. And we can't do anything about that one. But a great race once again. We'll be heading through to the podium for both races very shortly. Okay, guys, let's make our way to the podium. We'll gather round. Just waiting to get the official results text as they come through now. Okay, let's get started with the prize giving. We'll start with the B final. First off, give a round of applause for the fastest lap. Ivan P with a 1:32.8. Give Ivan a round of applause. Fastest lap in the B final. That's it. Nick's proud of you. On to the podium then. In the B final, third place. A round of applause for Alex K. In second place, it was very close, but a round of applause for Robin S. And your winner for the B final today, a round of applause for Andre P. That's it, guys. Get your photos in, and then we'll move on to the A final. I urge you all to go watch the live stream after this, because it was very, very good. Both the B final and the A final had plenty of fights. But let's start off with the fastest lap. A round of applause for the very consistent Leo Faddy with a 1:27.1. Okay, in third place, in the Ferrari, after spinning through Maggots and Beckett by himself and getting back up into P3, a round of applause for Kareem Zavor. In second place, putting up a good fight with consistency at the start and keeping that 5-second gap the whole time. A round of applause for Nick D. And your winner for today, in dominant fashion, your championship leader, a round of applause for Leo Faddy. A quick special shout out to Luca and Emil for providing most of the entertainment in the A final. And there we go, a round of applause for your top three. We will be back in 2 weeks' time for Spa. 2-week break, I think. No, not yet. 2 weeks Spa, let's challenge, ready? Let's make a bet. 2 weeks, then Spa, then Hungary back to back, and then a 3-week break before Zandvoort. No, that's what I'm going for today. We'll see. But definitely 2-week break for sure. We'll see you in Spa in 2 weeks' time on the 26th of July.